Hello everyone. Welcome to your lecture on youth identity and social media. This lecture is part of your paper on youth, media and society. The proliferation of the internet began in the 21st century, transforming the whole framework of communication. The popularity and propagation of the social media led to the crunching of geographical and political borders, bringing the global population closer. Individuals throughout the world could connect with each other within seconds, facilitated by the social media. This spontaneous nature of the social media attracted the youth, leading to a situation of digital dependency. From their lifestyle to choice to identity, everything began to get influenced by social media. The youth increasingly began to identify themselves with the identity created by them in the virtual space. Since youth is the critical period of identity formation, their inclination to the virtual world often results in dilemma and perplexity about their identity. This lecture will provide an understanding of the relation between youth and identity formation in relation to their increased participation in the social media. We will discuss the various factors which influences identity formation among the youth, especially with their enhanced inclination and dependency upon the social media. We will also discuss the concepts of offline and online identity triggered by the social media, and further address the problems of unregulated content generation and consumption by the youth, which often influences their self-assessment, leading to an unstable identity, which in turn creates the need for media literacy. Relating youth's identity with social media. Let us now understand the relationship between youth identity and social media. The Oxford Dictionary defines youth as the period between childhood and adult age. However, this defines just the time period. Youth encompasses much more. The period during which the playful and naive childhood is transformed into intricacies of adult age is a significant one. According to the psychoanalyst Erik Erikson, adolescence is a fundamental stage of identity formation whereby an individual, through self-reflection and self-definition, approaches to create an identity that would persist in the future. In this respect, Sonia Livingstone observes, young people are at the point of their lives where they are mostly motivated to construct identities, to forge new social groupings, and to negotiate alternatives to given cultural meanings. In all of these, the media plays a central part. In the 21st century, individuals, especially the youth, can no longer imagine their daily life without media and communication technology. Particularly with the popularization of the new media, the penetration of new media in the daily life and digital dependency is gradually but steadily influencing identity formation among the youth. In the present global scenario, there has been a significant enhancement of cyber activities. Young people are gradually heading towards virtual friendships through social media platforms. Most of their discussions center around activities on social media, and their choices are influenced by the array of lucrative products offered online. Moreover, the classroom teachings are being transformed into virtual classrooms. Consequently, all their projects and researchers are also being conducted with the help of new media. Hence, the youth is seeking to create as well as regulate their identities in relation to their virtual identities in the social media, often intertwining the both in the context of globalization. However, the impact of new media in economic, political, social and cultural domains cannot be overlooked, especially by the youth, to prepare for the future. During the past few years, the relationship between social media and youth has strengthened in many ways. The social media is so closely associated with the youth that it has taken a permanent place in their daily activities. However, there is an increasing apprehension and anxiety over its broader impact on the identity formation of the young people. In the virtual space of social media platforms, apart from providing space for fostering individuality and uniqueness to the youth, it also cultivates creation of fictitious and fraudulent identities. Virtual communication, along with diversifying identities, also alters the definition of social relationships. Hence, identities as well as friends are now being classified as online and offline. Moreover, there is a growing disparity between their online and offline identity. Many youths often indulge in creating anonymous identities which provide them the opportunity to explore alternative versions of themselves through switching genders, appearances, sexual orientation, and multiple other things which would mask their real identity. Now, on the other hand, some youths overexpose their real self by sharing personal data on the social media platforms. This results in cyberbullying, hacking of social media profiles, and consequent increase of anxiety and depression among the affected youth. According to David Buckingham, continuing confusion about one's identity is a mark of incomplete development and may result in deviant or antisocial behavior. From this perspective, adolescence is seen primarily as a state of transition, a matter of becoming rather than being. Adolescents' key dilemmas are to do with what they will become, particularly in terms of their future occupation and their relationships. Their current experiences are only significant insofar as they help them resolve their crisis and hence move on. Since the advent of social networking platforms in the beginning of the 21st century, there has been a rapid adoption of such social networking sites by the youth throughout the country. The youth, irrespective of their age, sex, race, sexuality, culture, ethnicity, religion, and socio-economic class, flock to the social networking sites and engage in a wide array of activities, ranging from tracking down old friends to promotion of their amateur business, from creating anonymous profiles for entertainment purpose to posting social, political, economic, and cultural views. Today, they judge their identities in the context of levels of participation and non-participation, as well as the intensity of activities in such social media platforms. There are several factors of social media that affect youth's identity. The flocking of the youth to social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, and Google for various activities includes sharing of personal photos and videos, which entails photos of expensive buys or tours. This is often done to enhance one's popularity on the social networking sites. However, such activities foster jealousy, insecurity, and inadequacy among other youths. Viewing such content, they often suffer from incompetency and deprivation, which frequently leads them to mask their socio-economic identities. Young women often suffer from predicament about their physical appearance. Since many social networking site is dominated by notions of idealized beauty, which includes the fallacious concepts of being fair and slim. This makes them feel hesitant and apprehensive about their physical appearance, since such notions are considered as the standardized norms of beauty. This results in creating social media profiles by using photos of celebrities to mask their real identity. Moreover, this leads many young women to depression and anxiety, which often makes them self-destructing. Social media provides ample opportunity to create anonymous identity, as face-to-face interaction does not take place, since the youth are in their crucial stage of identity formation. They often tend to experiment with their identity, which entails switching off gender as well as sexual orientation. This is sometimes done to explore all the possibilities of oneself and to engage in unexplored forms of interaction. However, this is harmful since it cultivates feelings of trickery, duplicity, as well as lechery, along with creating perplexity about one's identity. As the global society is moving towards digital dependency, the concept of identity theft is emerging. Identity theft refers to the practice of stealing somebody's personal information and details for fraudulent purposes. This is applicable even for the social media platforms, where sometimes a user exposes his or her personal information. The trickster creates fake profiles by obtaining personal information from user's profile. Such fictitious profiles are utilized to perform dishonorable activities like duping people in the name of friendship, defaming other users and other criminal activities. Such activities are often performed to take revenge for certain personal conflicts as well as to cause embarrassment to the primary user. The computer-mediated communication has led to the creation of real world and virtual world with individuals having offline identity and online identity. Now this duality has been forged by the social media. Today, most of the youth have social media profiles in social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. Through such sites, the youth often presents a reality about their self, which is far different from their actual self. They often project themselves as the ideal self which they aspire to become, but has not yet achieved such ideal identity in real life due to various socio-economic, political or psychosocial reasons. This leads to the creation of disparity between online and offline identity, where the former is the ideal self and the latter is the actual self. The dual identity thus created is often conflicting in nature, leading to the condition of identity crisis. The social media apparently has lessened the physical distance by enhancing global connectivity. Today, a person sitting in India can interact with another person sitting in Africa with a click of a mouse or with the help of their fingertips. With recent upsurge in use of smartphones, the social media platforms have helped in accelerating the global connectivity. However, along with being commendable, the social media has certain anomalies, primarily affecting the youth. Forging identity crisis is a primary concern. Amongst such anomalies, the youth coming from different socio-cultural, socio-economic, religious and political backgrounds access the social media platforms alike. Since the youth are in their most crucial juncture of identity formation, any kind of incongruity in such platforms would adversely affect them, as they often engage in self-exposure. Hence, the youth must be provided media literacy to tackle complex and sensitive issues concerning their identity in the context of social media. Intervention of media literacy. Let's explore the idea of media literacy. There is no doubt that the social media has empowered the youth in several ways, from providing them global connectivity to giving the platform to propagate new ideas. It has been significant in constructing a new framework for communication activities. The social media has also given them the opportunity to portray their creative potential through generating content by means of creating blogs, websites and other similar ways. However, the potential threats of the social media cannot be overruled. While the idea of propagating ideas through social media might be a spontaneous way of communication, there remains the possibility of perpetuation of harmful and malicious ideas, such as those we spoke of earlier. These in turn affects their identity formation, being influenced by certain fallacious propagandas and media messages. Thus, it is absolutely necessary to construct a media literacy framework, especially for the youth, to provide guidelines for a safer use of the social media, which is steadily gaining popularity as a participatory medium. The factors of social media which propagate the need for media literacy are explicated below. The social media primarily contains unregulated content. The youth, being voracious users of social media, gets exposed to such content. They are often influenced by such content and form an understanding of the world based on that. They often fail to reflect or dig deeper into the facts about what they read or share on the social media. Thus, generally the picture, videos, articles or news items the youth chooses to share over the social media are often not reflective of their beliefs or values, but of a constructed reality. Hence, media literacy would help the youth in forming conclusion or understanding of the world by giving them a sense of reality. The social media also perpetuates the enhancement of virtual commercial activities. Thus, the social networking sites are also serving as platforms to propagate businesses and numerous startups. The youth often flocks to such websites which provide attractive goods and services, popularizing online shopping. Such websites often makes use of a user's personal details like age, gender, email ID, even buying preferences, which may be sold to a third party without the user knowing about it. This creates privacy and security issues and eventually leads to identity theft. Thus, media literacy would make the young users of social media careful about sharing their personal details in the digital platform. The sudden proliferation of internet and its subsequent intermingling in our daily life has transformed our lifestyle. In a larger picture, it mostly affects the lifestyle of the youth, since they are the most active users of new media. Their flocking to the social media websites has further transformed the structure of communication. All these factors together contribute in influencing their identity formation, which has become a rising concern in the age of digital dependency. Conclusion. Thus, in conclusion to this lecture, since the youth is the most vulnerable and critical stage of identity, and in critical stage of identity formation, the social media penetration in the daily life results in dilemma and confusion over identity. The youth, in experimenting with their identities like never before facilitated by the virtual world, it has given birth to formation of anonymous and real identities. with the youth juggling between the two. Moreover, the matters get worse as they are exposed unregulated media content. While the youth may be mostly technologically advanced, the interpretation of the media content is often fallacious. Being incapable of deciphering the actual meaning of content, I hope at the end of this lecture you have learned that the youth's increased activities and dependency on the cyberspace is leading them to crisis regarding the identity formation. Therefore, the intervention of media literacy may act as a possible remedy to such predicaments. For more details, please read the module on this lecture carefully and attempt the questions in the end. Thank you.